How we doing, guys? My name is Kevin Reyes. Welcome back to 4 Minute Film School. Today it is hot outside. I got my hat, the sunscreen, the sun's beating down on us. But today we're doing a walk and talk. We're gonna be walking through this area. We're gonna be using only one light, and that light, it's the sun. We're gonna be using frames, diffusions, bounces, stuff like that. And it's gonna go from this to this. Let's get it right and get it tight. It's too hot out here. Can I get some sunscreen, man? I'm burning up. All right, guys, so the story and concept behind today's shoot is the woman is kind of sick of her husband's family and home life. It's kind of not going as planned, and she's out of there. And then we're gonna introduce the guy, her spouse, the husband, begging for her to come back. Kind of simple as that. That's our scene. Again, the challenge is we only have the sun to work with. This is one of the rare moments on 4 Minute Film School where we don't use any lights. And so we're gonna be doing a lot of kind of geometry with this one source of light. We're working hard right now. It's a little hot, but you know what? It's for you, 4 Minute Film School. We know we find you guys in this situation, so we gotta be in this situation making it work too. All right, guys, let's get into it. So right now I am pulling up my app, and this app is called Lumos, and basically it tracks where the sun's gonna be and when it's gonna be there. We're kind of waiting for the sun to kind of be angled down a little bit, and that's why this app is good, because we planned out for the right time where the sun's gonna hit exactly how we want it to. One thing for sure I don't wanna do is create what's called a sun sandwich. And basically the sun's coming from this direction, and when you put a bounce board on the complete opposite side, so you get the sun bouncing in and just basically sandwiching your subject. I don't want to do that. It doesn't look natural. I want to put a bounce right over here. It's slightly wrapping where the source of the sun is coming, wrapping it around my face, and then when I place the negative fill as close as I can, what that's gonna do is just create depth and a shape and a shadow depth onto the face. It's gonna go from light to dark.
For this 12 x setup, we're running with half soft frost. It's not a thick diffusion, it's not gonna cut down a lot of stops, but it's still gonna let enough specularity in where it does seem to have that natural fill, like a soft cloud.
What are these extra materials here?
Poly silk socks that are going around the angle. And if you look down at the floor, it's making our frame not look like a frame. So this now softens and closes in and fills in that gap.
Talk to me about the hardware here.
So we're on a grip and electric combos, and then we have casters. So the combos won't have wheels, but you have these guys that come on and off that you can slip onto the leg. The biggest challenge with all challenges in setting up is safety. As you can see, it's getting really windy here. And now it's gonna have to be a point where you do have to make the call that, hey, we can't fly this right now. It's not worth risking people's lives. To make this even more safe, we're gonna rope off all 4 corners. And it's something that you should do when we're building frames anyways, is roping off your corners and anchoring down. Since this is a moving shot, we're gonna keep the 4 corners roped off, and we're gonna have people on the ropes for safety as we walk this guy through.
No one ever wants to get hurt on set, and I'm glad that we're doing that and taking those precautions. All right, I got my CLT Jorge on set today with me. Jorge has some special materials that he's using for bounce. I've actually never seen this before, and I'm really interested. It looks like a checkerboard type of, talk to me, what is this?
This is a custom-made muslin checkerboard that I have friends with Canvas Grip made for me. The concept behind it is like, a lot of times when you're out, it's not just a white bounce that you're getting. There's like, right now, we can have some earth bouncing, green bounce. You're making it a little more natural, so it's not just white.
Oh, that's so cool. Thank you for letting us in on that, because he usually doesn't let us in on that. That's special for you guys.
I'm getting 10% of everything Aputure does for now.
When wind is involved, it kind of affects everything on the production set. So what we do is we get this big kind of what's called a windbreaker, and it's kind of this mesh kind of material, and we'll have someone Hollywood it, and basically Hollywood means hold it as the Steadicam moves along to kind of break that wind. And that'll help keep the balance and the wind from affecting the balance and the horizon level of the Steadicam. So part of the reason why I chose the Arri Alexa Mini to shoot on was because it's bright and sunny. And the Arri Alexa has built-in NDs. With the built-in NDs, we're able to shoot with this T-stop as fast as possible. I like that shallow depth of field. I think that adds, especially when you're shooting on anamorphic. And so that's part of the advantage of shooting on a camera like this one that has built-in ND. There's a component on this camera that I've always wondered, what the heck is that? What it's called is a rangefinder, and its purpose is to be able to help the focus puller be able to have a digital readout of the nearest subject to the sensor. Super helpful for the first AC, and I'm glad we have it today because we're gonna have some marks for our characters and we wanna make sure we are sharp. All right, so another luxury we're lucky to have, this tent. And what we're doing is we're putting Video Village in here. Definitely helps with not only keeping gear cool, but allowing our director here to see exactly what's in frame without any sort of reflections or sunshine kind of interfering or contaminating the screen. You can always build this out of a couple floppies or some bed sheets. Anything to just kind of cut down on the sun, hitting directly onto the screen, it helps. We purposely did our wide shots after our close-ups. The sun was high noon, so that's why we had to diffuse. Now we're doing our wide establishing, and because we're a little further away, it's gonna look okay because the sun's dropped, it's backlighting anyway. It's gonna be a little harsher, but to the audience, it sells. It sells, and they both cut together very nicely. So we did a couple rehearsals, and we're just realizing the importance of keeping everyone in sync. Essentially, what we have behind me is 10, 11 people all bringing a set along with these characters moving. So it's almost like a moving stage. That's a wrap. Woo! You guys, that was awesome. I loved how that turned out. Honestly, I hope you took something away from it. I know there's a lot of stuff that I did, but I want to know, how would you go about making broad daylight look good on film? Let me know in the comments below. Comment down below for your chance to win a B7C. Man, I'm hot. I gotta go get some water. There's a pool up there. I'm about to jump in the pool. I gotta go. Peace.
And check the call sheet for what the weather calls for and prepare for that.
Ooh, bonus tip. Oh, wait. We usually charge for the bonus tip, but Brandon's hooking it up today.